This is one of the records that I'm so attached to as a thing. We'd never let it go. You know. The funny thing is, if I'd known that it was folk music, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
When he was on stage, he just pulled everybody in.
You did watch him and think, gosh, that's an extraordinary talent. But it is very thrilling to be in the presence of that.
I don't know of another example of someone who's able to sing such sophisticated phrasing and play such different stuff on the guitar at the same time.
It was almost like he was playing two entirely separate songs.
Hearing him in particular really transformed the way I thought about delivering songs. So for me personally, he is, you know.
I began to pay attention to a lighter touch, and that was as a result of hearing the sort of things that Nic could do.
It's of a fair and handsome girl, she's all in her tender years.
And then just nothing. It seems to just fallen off the face of the earth. For whatever reason, most of the records are entirely unavailable. No one's heard of him. And yet, clearly, Penguin Eggs particularly is one of the great albums, not just in folk, but in any genre.
And your jacket shall be blue, and you'll see that seaport town called Canadee-i-o. Hang on a second, Nic. Hang on a sec.
I wanted to be Hank Marvin of the Shadows. I couldn't afford an electric guitar, so I bought an acoustic guitar and played a few times with the Halliard. All the while, I still wanted to be Hank Marvin, but I ended up being a folk singer.
They used to run the Chelmsford Folk Club and they used to do the residency there, and they actually were really good fun, good to listen to. It was before folk music got boring.
Halliard broke up and he was out on the road on his own.
That was his busiest time, and he was away a lot more.
He started to sing behind the beat. That percussive guitar style grew.
He really developed springs in his heels.
He started whipping up a storm.
56, I sailed on board a ship called Byron One. She's carried trawler men on deck and a harpoon whaling gun.
It was weird because whenever he used to drive off, I used to move to the kitchen window and sort of wave, and I didn't.
I was in the studio with Tony Engel. It was he who told me. He said Nic had this horrifying accident. He'd broken every bone in his body.
He was travelling back from a gig in Glossop in Derbyshire. He was living in Cambridgeshire at the time. I think he was fairly close to home.
And clump.
Nobody really knows exactly what happens. The theory is he fell asleep at the wheel and crashed into a lorry with a ton of bricks on it or something.
What does it mean to have been this great artist with a credible skill, the guitar belonging to him, being him, and when that's taken away from you, what does that do to you? Well, it means you can't do this thing that is you anymore.
'56, I sailed on board a ship called Byron One. She's carried trawler men on deck and a harpoon whaling gun. Oh, you trawler men, come on, forget your snapper. I had it on my iPod and I was jogging. I don't usually jog to folk music, usually it doesn't work. Really, I think it's just the feeling of that recording. It just kind of soars. His guitar playing feels so wide open. It sort of wraps you up in a cloak. telling other people's stories, but putting his own heart so squarely in the middle of what he's doing. I find all of those story songs that he sings really emotionally affecting. Come on, he paints a little miniature world, and so a lot of those songs, there's images from them that really have stuck with me. Fishing for the humpback whale. Keep a sharp lookout, my lads.
Jeff Rosen, Bob Dylan's manager, who played it for me, and he said, "Have you ever heard of Nic Jones?" And I said, "No, I don't know who he is." And he goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "This is, you know, this is the cat's meow. This is where the train ends. You know, this is the end of the station." Bob loves this. You know, one of the favorite performers. You know, I had been a guitar player all my life, and I can't ever remember hearing something so rhythmic, so funky, yet so soulful, and then so technical yet so free. I remember rushing home and grabbing that record, inspired like when I was a kid.
I'm going to play Barrack Street, which is another song on Penguin Eggs. I was in a place called the Red Lion in Stoke Newington, where they used to run an open mic night. A guy came in, he was playing this style. I went up and spoke to him, and he said, "All right, well, if you're interested in that, go and listen to Nic Jones." That was sort of my homework for the next few years, you know. I thought, okay, well, that's how you do it. I keep coming back to his records again and again. I still get that same sense of wow from it. He is the one that most people look up to, you know, because he kind of set the bar.
As a young artist, he created great work. And I suppose other young artists aspire to do the same at an early age, and they look to him and go, it's possible.
The Observer a few years ago had a poll about the greatest records of all time. Number 78 was Let It Bleed by the Rolling Stones, and number 80 was Station to Station by David Bowie, and number 79 was Penguin Eggs by Nic Jones. It still sounds so fresh.
Be still somewhere, each moment aware that the now is here, so simple and so clear. The past has gone, the future will come. The soul shows us how we're here in the now. In the end, I started to get to the point where I wanted to write songs myself, because I felt I had something I could say myself.
Most people put him down as a traditional singer, but before the accident, very little was left of traditional.
It cuts across genres, it cuts across age, it cuts across time. He went beyond the folk world, and he still does, even more so now.
A sense of stillness in it, a weird calm. He manages to sort of stop time somehow with things. I don't know, amazing quality about him.
Capturing each moment, time is
There's no one that deserves a microphone in front of him and the world to listen more than Nic Jones.
It gladdens your heart, even if he's singing things that are sad. It connects you up with the idea that life's got great possibilities. So his voice suggests hope.
and gone. Eternally the now shall be still somewhere, each moment aware that the now is here, so simple and so clear.